all about positivity. I don't like bringing anything negative into a perspective or a community, and I honestly think that the Final Fantasy XIV community is a very positive space. But you have bad actors, and there'll always be bad actors, whether they be a regular player or perhaps they make content. Now, when it comes to certain people like Asmongold, right, who is a WoW player, he is like maybe, I think, the #1 MMO streamer on Twitch. We're talking about a guy who gets thousands upon thousands of views whenever he turns like something on. Whenever he goes to a different MMO or a different game that happens to be multiplayer, people will follow. And as annoying as that is, it's his thing, you know, his personality draws these people in. Some people kind of like deflect their personality off of them, and he has a character. He has a certain character that is vulgar when speaking, and you know, sometimes the things he says is kind of ignorant. It goes without saying that he is entertaining, and that is the reason why he is at the #1 spot in terms of Twitch when it comes to like MMO playing or MMO games. He played Final Fantasy XIV for the first time and had over 200,000 people watching. People from all over the space, and the community in 14 watched Asmongold as he started playing, and he got stuck a few times because, well, people tend to follow him everywhere, and honestly, these people who just want to be there for their streamer and they want to support him, okay, good on you, but you know, sometimes I just wish sometimes they would just give the man some space. Fortunately, he has a second channel called Zackroar, where he's more laid back, more Zack than Asmongold, and when he was playing New World, he had that space in order to play New World, and he had a good time. That's where he goes, where he wants to be just Zack, and what he says and does on there, I mean, I think that reflects upon him more than it does, you know, his characterization of Asmongold. Now, the reason why I'm talking about Asmongold and, you know, how streamers be and how they act and they may put on a character when they come on stream is because sometimes people are offended by what they say and what they do. In this case, my friend over at Work 2 Games, Brian, they had a little bit of a DM chat with somebody who is now a former subscriber of their channel, and the reason why they're former now is because whether they did or didn't, they unsubscribed from Brian's channel because they had a problem with Asmongold. Why did they have a problem with Asmongold? Well, like I said, he has a mouth, okay? He has a characterization, he has a personality when he is on his Asmongold channel. And, well, it wasn't even on his Asmongold channel, it was actually on his Zackroar channel, and he said the R word and apparently Nazi slurs, and I'm not really too sure, because I've never heard these words before, but say that they are, and he did say the R word. I will only say this. This person was hurt, they got their feelings hurt, or they felt some type of way when they used a word. They probably, if they are or have someone related to the R word, I get you, I feel you, I get it, okay? That's fine if that's how you feel, but it's not a good idea to go up to someone that is another content creator and try to throw your feelings out on them as though you personally know them as a friend, okay? As far as I could tell you, Brian didn't know this person. They were just a random subscriber. They came up, they said, I'm disappointed and some such, I'm unsubscribing, and get ready for to be unsubscribe bombed because of this. Now, look at Asmongold. Let me just tell you that. Let me ask the person who unsubscribed from Brian. Look at Asmongold. His YouTube channel is in the 100,000s. His Twitch channel, I think, is in the millions. And he gets thousands upon thousands of viewers daily whenever he comes on. Actually, whenever he comes on. He doesn't stream daily, but whenever he comes on, he gets thousands. If you think that just because someone is associated with Asmongold, they're going to ultimately fail, then I don't know where your headspace is at. And honestly, this is just your personal feelings that's really getting in the way of logic here. Brian does not know Asmongold, and because he watches his videos and follows his streams and follows Asmongold, I don't think that means that Brian is going to start saying big dick energy in his streams, and if he has, then I've missed it. But that doesn't mean that because he watches Asmongold, that he is somehow a personal friend or associated to Asmongold. Whatever Asmongold does, all right? He's a grown-ass man, just like how Brian is also a grown-ass man, okay? He has a house, he has a wife and kids, he has a job, and he has a channel. He does content, okay? And he does what he has to do. Listen, you can't just go up to another content creator and start spouting like your feelings, and you're pushing them. Like, I can see it in his messages. And Brian made a video on this. I'll put a link to that down there just as well, so that you can get full context of what I'm talking about. The way they were presenting the messages and their proof of what Asmongold is, and how he said the R word, and he was on his Zachroar channel, which is, you know, him being Zach. If you have a problem with anybody, any person saying the R word, leave. And it goes even further. Apparently they were being abused in the game, all right? And I feel for that person if they were abused, called names and such. As for myself, I've had that too since I started playing any kind of MMO, not just Final Fantasy. Like back in the day in A Realm Reborn, when it was just A Realm Reborn, I had a little potato come in and start degrading me in a dungeon. And it was like, I remember it was Brave Flux Long Stop Hard, and they were degrading me because I wasn't doing everything he wanted me to do. I didn't pick up all the mobs and take it to all the way in the end. I wanted to pace myself because I just wasn't feeling great that day. And he's saying that I was the worst tank ever, and I hope you like uninstall the game. It's like, you should probably try something else. Tanking is not for you. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna block you, because the block feature is in the game. You can take the name of the person that you were apparently with at the time. They give you a list of players you encounter, find it, block it, never meet that person ever again. It's the same thing that you could have done. If someone is abusing you in the game, use the in-game system to solve the problem, and you can report them. Now, unlike other MMOs, right? At the very least, I think Square Enix or Yoshi P's team tries to handle situations. Like, people go into GM jail if they started using Party Finder to advert their PR, right? Their PR cafe. Some people were, they're like, oh yeah, I got contacted by a GM. I was sent to jail, and this guy told me that I can't do that no more. You know, these are GMs that are actually doing their job. So if you report it, okay, I'm sure something will happen. If you block him, all right, you'll never associate with them again. This is the easy solution. I even met this person's supposed wife in a dungeon who just put ellipses. I think these two people back in the day were just very unlikable, and I don't think they had a lot of friends, because in the description of the wives, their little information box said that she supports her husband all the way, and had the name of the person that I blocked. It wasn't even too long ago. I think it was like maybe a week after. I don't know. But, you know, I never saw those two again. I don't think I ever will meet those people again, right? I don't want to remember their names and give it out in any bad or negative fashion. I'm just going to let it go, because I blocked them and I'm done. I'm done. Did I report them? No, because honestly, anybody deserves to play the game. And if you want to be an asshole about it, then I'll block you and I'll move on with my life. Just as, you know, if Asmongold is not the streamer that you want to watch, block them on Twitch. You don't want to see them on Twitter, block them on Twitter. If you don't want to watch their stuff, like, do you even know who Asmongold is? Do you see what he does? There's a reason why he's popular, okay? But if you don't like them, don't associate with them. Block them. Don't even watch their content. If you see them on YouTube, you can say, I don't want to watch it. It's easy as that. Asmongold did not personally harm this person, didn't personally harm you. And he never really personally harms anybody. If someone comes into his chat and he's responding and he calls them stupid, he can say whatever he wants on his stream. I may not condone him using the R word or any kind of slurs, and I myself will slur, but like, you know, I use this, you know, the F word, I use the S word, and I think that was perhaps my food, but I'll get that later. Listen, the point is, You can't associate a content creator who you may like with another content creator that you don't like, and then say, oh, because they're following them, they're watching their content, that they're also just as bad as that content creator. That the logic flies out the window when you try to associate something like that. Brian is his own man. He does his own thing. If he ever got Asmongold on a podcast, I'd be very impressed, okay? Or if he ends up on, what was it called, Allcraft with Asmongold, I'd be incredibly impressed. Okay? Now, I watch Asmongold, sure, and I may lose a few subs because I said that, but the reason why I do is because I like to keep up on what he's doing in terms of Final Fantasy XIV. I'm watching, and I'm seeing. I'm going to be one of those people who not just show up on the day where he starts and then just leave it at that and wait for an article to come out. I'm actually going to invest time to watch Asmongold as he's going through his journey in 14. I'm invested, okay? I may not like the takes that he, or like the words that he say. A lot of his takes is actually pretty good. He's a very smart man. You know, when he goes and talks and says stuff in his chat, that's him interacting with his chat, and his chat may have grown to a point that, you know, they can come out as rude, and yeah, that's incredibly true. And at the very least, Asmongold is a very straightforward and blunt person, I would say. I think he's very blunt. He doesn't hold anything back. He tells you how it is, and that's the fact of it. He has a mouth on him. He says words, but I don't think he's like anything worse than just saying like words, and that's it. His belief, I don't care, you know? What he says doesn't really bother me. I haven't heard anything from him that was very offensive at all, really. Like the most I've ever like disagreed with Asmongold, right, is when he messed up a mechanic and thought that, oh, you needed to do this with a certain mechanic, which no, it was wrong. But I didn't say anything. I didn't go in chat and say, no, you're wrong. I just let it be, let him learn, you know? That's how you let somebody play the game. This right here is what I would say is kind of like a border gatekeeping and kind of a projection of your personal agenda. Like, you can't just throw out your emotions and your opinion at another content creator and have them lead the charge of saying, you know, fuck Asmongold for what he said. He's an asshole for saying these words. You're not going to push Brian into doing that. And I hope you're not pushing any other content creator into doing that neither, because then you're the asshole. You're the one propagating this. If you're going to propagate negativity, all right, then just, I want you to leave. I want you to be gone, okay? I'm being nicer here than Brian. Brian was a nice person when interacting with this person, but if I was interacting with this person, I say, let Asmongold be Asmongold. If you do not want to associate with them, then don't associate with them. If you're having problems in game, that doesn't legit mean that it's Asmongold's fault. Just because he's in the game doesn't mean he's bringing negative things happening in the game. Like, that's always been happening. There's always been negative shit in 14 or in any MMO, all right? It's not Asmongold's fault that someone called you an asshole or just being a dick to you, right? Like, unless it directly correlates to Asmongold, and if you were in a dungeon with Asmongold or something like that and he called you an asshole, there, like I said, block him, don't associate with him ever again, leave, okay? You don't have to go on a Twitter tirade or DM content creators because your fifis were hurt, all right? Gotta be a bit more mature about this. And you know what? The world isn't really so mature and a large portion for what it seems in terms of the internet. You know, I still think the internet could grow so much better. You know, it can grow better. It could be a lot more mature. You just need to find the community that is mature. But listen, I'm glad Brian took care of this in the way he did. It was very positive. All right, if it were me, I'd be a lot more negative. And because I've slept, I've eaten, and I've drunk my tea, I'm a very calm boy right now. I could have ranted about this all day, but I didn't. I'm being a very calm boy. But hey, that's just me. All right, I hope that person finds a good community, you know, solves that little issue of him getting maybe verbally abused in game and stuff. I hope he's able to find a community that suits him and is able to play with people that are positive, you know? But other than that, what do you guys think about all this? I will leave a link like I said, to the video for Brian. I also did kind of guest in his podcast and Ginger Prime Radio, and I was horrible. Yes, I was very horrible. My mic sucked. It was a little too loud, and I'm gonna need to get a new one. I know I will. But if you want to go ahead and support Brian, go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Check him out. You know, he's actually good people's. And for if you don't like what he or I do, right? You know, you can always unsubscribe. Clicking the button is free. Clicking the button again is also free and easy. It's easy as that. Just clicking a button. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys next time. Catch me on my streams, which I do here on YouTube, and I'll see you next time. Stay vigilant out there, and now that I think about it, oh my god, I really was horrible on that podcast. I am so sorry, Brian.